Dr. Corey Moss on Looking and Being Your Best, and talking again about one class, a sort of a class of fillers. And there's different ways to divide these cosmetic injection or cosmetic filler products up. And one of them is by who makes them, sort of the families, the Juvederm family, the Restylane family, and the Belotero family. And that family of products on the Belotero side also has with it Radiesse, which is a micro or small particle, microscopic particle, calcium hydroxyapatite, which is like your bone mineral. So in bone, when you take the collagen out of bone, which is the part that's laid down by osteoblast and osteoclast, and the mineral around it, that's the mineral that's left. So the body really likes this molecule, and they've isolated that product and made it into tiny little spheres, and it's just basically calcium. And they're very smooth spheres, so there's not much reaction, but some reaction to the fibroblast and other cells of inflammation, so that while Radiesse is injected, and these little spheres are suspended in a gel, and we put a lot of local anesthesia in with it, and we can distribute these little particles gently through. Typically it's a volumizing filler in my use. And so we can classify things by these families, or we can classify them by how they perform. And if we classify them by how they perform, then I have a category of what I call volumizing fillers, where we're really restoring volume or lifting thing up where there is no volume in the mid-face and cheek area, or even the hollows of the temples, etc. That can be part of aging or certain disease processes, or just asymmetries like hemifacial atrophy or trauma, where volume is needed on one side. And so the products that are in that volume category, I would say, are Voluma, which is a product we've talked about before, an HA filler, and the Radiesse product, which is small particles of calcium hydroxyapatite, and we'll talk more about that. And then Sculptra, which is basically a type of, a suture material that we've used for many years, so we know it's a dissolvable suture material, but it's in tiny little particles. That's L-polylactic acid, which is some milk acid basically. And when injected, with Sculptra, or L-polylactic acid, there's an intense inflammatory response to it, which causes the deposition or new formation of new collagen, neocollagenesis. And it's the same with Radiesse, although the intensity of inflammation is literally orders of magnitude less than it is with Sculptra. And the particles themselves with Radiesse actually occupy space while they're being replaced by collagen with the sort of inflammatory reaction and the fibroblasts that make collagen, replacing the particles themselves. So as the particles degrade, fibroblasts are making collagen, which gives it a longer duration. I'd love to say the collagen lasts forever, but our experience with Radiesse and any of these stimulatory or microparticulate fillers are that they last for a while and then they go away, which is good, because what we know from the small particle fillers from overseas is that when we have one approved here for very small indications of lifting up scars, that's called Belafil, but where they use these large volume synthetic injectable fillers, including silicone, but many different particles of plexiglass and other types of materials. They're great in those people who have no problems, but if you have a problem, they're almost impossible, if not impossible, to completely remove. And that results in scarring and contracture. Lips, I've taken care of a lot of these injected lips with these synthetic particulate products, which are very different than the bioactive ones like Sculptra and Radiesse. Those go away on their own, or they can be helped along in going away, and are ultimately replaced by collagen through natural processes. So the Radiesse family, now they have it with lidocaine, and they have it with that, which is a numbing medicine, and then they have it without lidocaine, and they have different size syringes, and it's been indicated for hand volume and showing very nice results. One of the California Society of Facial Plastic Surgery members, Dr. Marati, has done a nice job of part of the study with hand volume replacement. but the indications for these are very widespread and exciting because they are stimulating new collagen formation by the stimulation of these fibroblasts and other cells of inflammation in a very small but meaningful way, and especially with Radiesse, which gives you volume as the collagen is being built up. The Radiesse particles, the calcium hydroxylapatite, is going away, which gives what we consider an 18-month outcome. And that's a nice long outcome, and after 18 months your face is changing anyway, so it's time for a little touch-up or rejuvenation. That's a good interval for following up and doing touch-ups for this product, Radiesse, which is calcium hydroxylapatite, microparticulate calcium hydroxylapatite. So if you have any questions about Radiesse, I've got lots of pictures and examples before and after, and some of doing the treatment. And again, we use lots of local anesthesia and so you really kind of get a little blown up for 2 or 3 days. While that goes away, you have a little recovery. But it's a nice product that gives a lasting result and stimulates collagen formation. If you have any questions about that, please don't hesitate to write me at drmoss.com. We're always happy to take your phone calls, but videos or pictures are great. And as always, it's my pleasure to help you stay looking and being your best. Dr. Corey Moss.